Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're taking a look at how to build Kelvin, the frostiest lad in Deadlock. Kelvin can be played as a support, or what other games would call a mage or ability power carry, buying items to help him deal heavy spirit damage to enemies. I definitely prefer a more aggressive build on Kelvin. I think his area damage is where he really shines. Let's get into it. Your grenade can heal. I like to start games on Kelvin rushing his grenade to level 2 and grabbing extra charge. The grenade really shines early, being a great skill for harassing. And once it's level 2, it can be used defensively, the heal keeping you, and maybe a teammate, standing despite a difficult lane. The flexibility and short cooldown of Kelvin's grenade is the main reason I feel he can build aggressively without losing too much utility as a support. Most of the best ways to scale his damage will also improve his grenade and its heal. Rapid recharge can help his grenade scale into the late game, although I generally prioritize scaling his beam more. If you really want to live that support lifestyle, Health Nova can be a powerful source of sustain in dual lanes, and Healing Booster can be an alright pickup too. While we're still focused on the early game, Enduring Spirit is my go-to defensive pickup, and I'll grab some mix of Sprint Boots, Extra Spirit, and Mystic Reach depending on if I want more defense or damage. And oh, playing the Beam Bully is great. After the early grenade-focused portion of the game, I like to level up Kelvin's beam to level 3, since the additional beams give Kelvin some of the best sustained area damage in the game, clearing out waves and neutral camps very quickly. Because of this, it's the skill that I will imbue with superior cooldown and duration, improved reach, and surge of power. Suppressor and Mystic Vulnerability can also be great pickups, although they don't scale the whole of Kelvin's kit as effectively as the more straightforward items, so I generally delay purchasing them until at least 1 or 2 flex slots have opened up. The mid-game is also a great time to pick up some basic defensive items. I'm a big fan of Spirit Lifesteal, and Bullet or Spirit Armor tend to be reliably good pickups. Moving on, it's time for some Ice Path macro. The late game is where I start putting points into Ice Path. The game opens up enough that its strengths as a movement skill become relevant, and combined with a better uptime from cooldown and duration items, it gives Kelvin an almost absurd degree of map control. You can quickly rotate between lanes to clear out waves, hitting neutral camps along the way, or dash to an ally in a 1 vs 1 to help ensure that your team gets the kill. You can split push incredibly quickly too, skating down lanes and taking out waves basically without stopping. Figuring out how to effectively use Kelvin's late game map navigation is one of the most interesting and skill testing parts of the character. In other words, it's a spot where Kelvin can carry a game, or do a bad split push and feed. Moving on, let's quickly hit on weapon items. Kelvin generally doesn't benefit a lot from weapon items. He has no skill that scales off of weapon damage, so I'll often end games not having purchased one. That said, basic magazine and close quarters are pretty efficient on most characters, so they can be an okay pickup if you just need to put some loose change somewhere. In general, I think pickups like Mystic Shot, Soul Shredder bullets, and Slowing bullets are a better fit for Kelvin, as they either scale with spirit power or provide additional utility. Rounding things out, let's quickly talk about the ultimate and luxury items. Kelvin's ultimate is such a difficult part of his kit to use effectively, so there's not a lot of super broad advice for it. A really basic thing to keep in mind is just that it's impenetrable for allies and enemies alike, so you want to be sure that you're not hurting your own team's positioning when you deploy it. Also, don't be afraid to just use it as a heal, especially in laning. Not every ultimate has to be trying to force an enemy into a cage match. Ultra late game, I mostly tend to upgrade items into Boundless Spirit and Escalating Exposure, although Inhibitor or Leech can be nice pickups. And that's all my advice for Kelvin. I hope this short guide's been helpful. If you enjoyed it, liking and subscribing is always appreciated, and you can dig around the description for even more ways to support the channel. Thanks! Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!